RoverX alum, Shubh Agarwal, co-founder of Antropi Robotics. So to just start us off, could you tell us a bit about what you're currently working on and what your role looks like right now?
Sure. So I'm working, as you already mentioned, at Entropy. So my co-founder Naman is also from Team RoverX itself, and both of us met in the first year of Team RoverX. So yeah, we've been building since then, and right now at Entropy, we are building smart factories. So basically, factories that do not require any human involvement. And currently, we're targeting at metal manufacturing factories, so specifically CNC machining. So end to end from material movement to putting the material into the CNC machines, taking it out, all of that, the orchestration of everything will be happening via robots and via software.
So I would like to ask, what was it like being a part of RoverX during its early days,
It was very
when
amazing,
the team was still taking shape?
coming to.
When the team was still taking shape in the early days.
Yeah. So it was amazing actually. So when we were juniors there, we literally had nothing. We had one batch which went to URC before us, but that was also not a very successful trip. So we had to start from scratch. So from the rover's base and like all the systems were from scratch built by us only. So it was a very good and learning experience. And in that duration itself is when we picked up on a lot of different skills.
Since you have your own company, you've co-founded your own company. For those of us who are interested in startups and robotics, what skills do you think we should focus on building earlier?
Okay. Okay. I think one of the most important skills is people management. So being a founder of a company, I think that's most of my time goes in how to manage people and how to delegate things to different people and get the work being done from them. I think that's one of our very important skills. And apart from that, I would say that identifying problem and then taking agency to solve that. So you being in RoverX do have that opportunity of identifying problems, be it in the rover, be it around the rover, or be it something else. You have that opportunity to actually pinpoint a problem without a senior asking you to do it. So taking that agency that, okay, I found this problem, now it's my job to get it fixed.
So, what excites you most about the future of robotics and where your company is headed?
I think in general, like robotics is a very interesting space because right now AI has in general like taken up a lot of software related jobs or like software related tasks, and now the next way or the next direction forward is these this AI being implemented with hardware. So I think robotics is right now in that space where in the next 5 or 10 years it's about to explode. So that really excites me.
And how do you think experiences like RoverX would prepare us for entrepreneurial journeys later in life if we ever wish to take something on like this?
I think it's a very, very good fit for a founder. So basically, running RoverX or being in RoverX is just like being in a very small team, a very small company. So it's a very good replication of what happens in a company. So you do have roles delegated, and as I already told you, the skills that you need to run a company, all those skills are. It's very much possible to learn those skills while being in a team, especially RoverX. So yeah, it's a very good environment where you can just develop all the skills so that in the future, when you do want to start your own company, it becomes very effortless.
So, as someone who is interested in management myself, in the early days of RoverX, how did you, apart from the technical issues and monetary issues aside, how was the management aspect of the team? How did you resolve conflicts? How did you decide on the decisions that need to be taken? How was the process back then?
Sure. So in general, like we believe that resolving any kind of conflict, it's best to go ahead just with logic and keep the emotions aside. Because once you start involving emotions and vested interest of people, the equation becomes very messy. So in general, like for any design decisions or like any decisions that were to be made in the team, we used to have proper logical conversations or debate, per to say, and whichever side or whichever points did make sense, we used to proceed with that. So basically, just keeping all the emotions away and then just debating properly.
So, In line with this, are there any specific experiences that have stayed with you and influenced how you approach decisions in your company today?
I can't think of a particular instance, but in general, what RoverX has prepared us was to perform under pressure. So let's say you have to set up the rover when you go for competition, then 5 minutes and 10 minutes. And let's say in those 10 minutes, something goes down. So you have to think of all the possible backup plans and then resolve that problem in a very limited amount of time. So that is one skill or that one thing that is very handy now, because now whenever I'm faced with a problem and I have to resolve that in a very limited time, I do first of all have that confidence because I've done that in the past, and second of all have that experience on how to navigate things when you have limited time.
Were you interested in robotics from the very beginning, or did RoverX contribute to your current field of?
Yeah, I don't think like RoverX has definitely played a part, but from my school days itself, I was very curious and I used to tinker a lot with physical robots, small projects, and all of that. So I did have a lot of interest, and which is why after joining VIT, RoverX was my first go-to place that I want to go here and build something. But yeah, I was interested in robotics before RoverX also, but after joining RoverX, I did get a bit more idea of how a proper product is built and how do you go in international competitions and compete. So it has played a part in increasing my interest and giving me more professional exposure.
So, if you had to sum up your journey with RoverX in one sentence, what would it be?
One sentence, okay, that's a little bit difficult, but I would just say one word, which is magical, because everything that used to happen at RoverX, and now even when I look in the hindsight and think about it, it feels very magical that despite going to classes from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., a bunch of students getting together in the night from 9 to, for us, it was 4 p.m. So from 9 p.m. to 4 a.m., sorry. So from 9 p.m. to 4 a.m., we used to come together, work on a project, and get it working. So that was like magical.
So, last but not the least, what advice would you give to us, your juniors, on how to go ahead with our journey?
Do you have any specific direction in which you want advice, like academically or competition wise, or like what particular direction should I
No,
choose?
no, no direction, just generalized, so that it'll cater to all.
Just general advice. Okay. I think RoverX is a very good platform. So despite like whatever you want to do in your life in the future, you want to go for a MNC, you want to start your own business, you want to start and you want to go and start working in a startup. All of these routes are possible. Or like if you want to do masters or any of that. So whatever future plan you have, I think RoverX, if you contribute properly to the team and if you dedicate your time, it is that one place which can yield you disproportionate outputs or disproportionate outcomes. So you might not realize it right now, but then like I did my master's from University of Pennsylvania, and the strongest thing in my resume of that whole 4 years was RoverX. So it might not become very obvious to you in the early days, but in general, whatever you want to do in your life, opportunities like these do play a do give you very disproportionate output.